Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If someone looks into your eyes just a second longer than comfort allows, your body already knows something your mind is afraid to admit. That slight pause creates unease, curiosity, and a pull you can't explain. It's not random, it's psychological gravity. Stay with me. Before we go deeper, take 1 second to support this channel. Like this video and subscribe, because what I'm about to share will change how you read people forever. I'm speaking to you as a psychologist, but also as someone who understands how confusing attraction can feel when it's unspoken. Eye contact is the most honest form of communication humans have left. Words can lie, eyes rarely do. When someone likes you, their eyes betray them in ways they can't control. The first truth is duration. When eye contact lasts longer than what the situation requires, attraction is present. The brain releases dopamine when we look at someone we desire, and dopamine makes time feel distorted. They don't realize they're staring, they just feel drawn. Second is repetition. They keep finding your eyes. Even in group settings, conversations, or crowded rooms, their gaze returns to you again and again. This isn't coincidence. The mind prioritizes what matters emotionally, and attention always follows importance. Third is softness. When someone likes you, their eyes relax around you. Eyelids lower slightly, tension leaves the face, and the stare feels warm rather than sharp. This happens because the nervous system shifts from alert to safe. Desire doesn't feel threatening, it feels familiar. Fourth is delayed breaking. When you lock eyes, they hesitate before looking away. That delay is an internal conflict between desire and self-control. They want to stay connected, but fear revealing too much. Fifth is pupil response. Pupils naturally dilate when someone is emotionally stimulated. They can't fake this. It's a reflex tied to attraction and interest, and your subconscious notices it even if you don't consciously register it. Eye contact isn't about confidence tricks or manipulation. It's about emotional truth leaking through biology. When someone likes you, their eyes tell a story before their mouth ever does. And once you learn to read it, you can never unsee it. As you listen, notice how often this has already happened to you, unnoticed, ignored, or rationalized away. Because recognizing desire requires courage most people are still learning to develop within themselves. Now, let's go deeper. Because eye contact isn't just about staring. It's a conversation without words, a silent pull that your body feels before your mind catches up. Most men miss these signs because they're looking for grand gestures instead of subtle truths hiding in plain sight. The sixth indicator is mirroring. When someone likes you, their eyes will follow yours almost instinctively. They unconsciously copy your movements, your head tilts, even your eyebrow raises. This isn't mimicry. It's chemistry. Their nervous system aligns with yours, creating connection before words are spoken. Seventh is the flicker of emotion. Watch closely. A smile that appears only in the eyes, a spark that reaches the iris. Genuine interest rarely hides in the corners of the mouth alone. Eyes are honest. They reveal delight, curiosity, and warmth even when someone's lips are neutral. You'll notice micro-expressions if you pay attention. Those split-second flashes of desire that reveal everything they are trying to hide. Eighth is the holding gaze during pauses in conversation. When someone leans in, listens, and their eyes stay locked just slightly too long, it's not awkward. It's a magnet pulling them closer emotionally. Men often mistake this for social discomfort, but it's attraction in its purest, most raw form. That hesitation, that extra heartbeat before looking away, is a confession in disguise. Ninth is the triangle pattern. When someone likes you, their gaze often shifts between your eyes and lips repeatedly. This is primal. The brain tells the body to observe the face regions tied to intimacy, subconscious desire, and connection. Even if they don't say a word, their eyes are negotiating closeness, desire, and tension simultaneously. 10th is secrecy and glance. Someone who likes you will try to sneak looks without being noticed, but often fails. Quick glances, eyes darting, catching you by accident, these tiny oops moments are pure honesty. Their desire leaks through the cracks, uncontainable and instinctual. Understand this. The eyes are far more revealing than touch, words, or even laughter. They tell stories of longing, curiosity, and hidden attraction in ways most people never learn to read. Once you become aware of these truths, you'll start noticing patterns you've ignored your entire life. The subtle signals that scream connection without a single syllable. Pay attention now, because from here, it gets even more precise. And the way you respond to these signals will determine whether you remain a passive observer or someone who truly understands female psychology at an instinctual level. Here's where most men completely miss the point. Eye contact isn't just about noticing someone looking at you. It's about feeling seen in a way that unsettles you, excites you, and pulls you into unspoken tension. That tension is attraction, and it's hiding in details most guys ignore. The 11th sign is intensity shifts. Watch closely. Sometimes their gaze is soft and welcoming. Other times it sharpens, piercing, as if trying to measure you. This fluctuation isn't random, it's emotional calibration. They're testing how you react, gauging your energy, and inviting subtle engagement without saying a word. Men often misread this as judgment, when it's really desire wrapped in instinctive curiosity. 12th is lingering after conversation. When a moment ends and yet their eyes stay on you just a fraction longer than social convention allows, that's a silent pull. Their mind wants to extend the connection, even when their body is forced to step back. It's vulnerability disguised as casual attention, and it's incredibly hard to fake. Only someone genuinely drawn to you will risk that microsecond of awkward exposure. 13th, and the most dangerous one if ignored, is eye-to-body alignment. Their gaze doesn't just look at your face, it tracks your movements, your gestures, your energy. Their eyes follow without awareness, like a magnet seeking the pull it cannot resist. This is primal, pre-verbal, and biologically hardwired. It's not conscious flirting. It's a subconscious broadcast of interest that your mind can't ignore. Now, here's the truth most men never hear. These signs aren't just cute hints. They are psychological doorways into understanding someone's genuine desire. You can't fake this. You can't manipulate it. And if you miss it, you'll continue to misread intentions and opportunities for connection for the rest of your life. Notice how these signals often overlap. The longer someone looks, the more their pupils dilate. The more they hesitate before breaking contact, the more their gaze tracks your body. The soft smiles that flicker in their eyes, the mirroring, the stolen glances, they all combine to form a pattern your subconscious feels before you can even articulate it. And here's the kicker. Women aren't playing games by doing this. They're following instinct, biological wiring that communicates interest before logic intervenes. If you understand these patterns, you gain access to a hidden language almost nobody ever notices, but it will transform the way you approach attraction, conversation, and connection forever. The eyes are not just windows, they're signals, confessions, and invitations. And once you know what to look for, your entire perception of interaction will shift. Now let's break down what most men completely overlook: the emotional weight behind eye contact. When a woman looks at you in a certain way, it's not just curiosity, it's an emotional investment, tiny but powerful, and it's often unconscious. Your brain can sense it before you even realize what's happening. One of the most overlooked cues is the subtle smile in the eyes. You've probably noticed people who smile with their mouth, but their eyes stay flat, indifferent. When someone likes you, their eyes light up, corners crinkle, and a spark of warmth appears. This isn't surface-level politeness, it's genuine emotional acknowledgement. Your subconscious feels it immediately, even if your conscious mind tries to rationalize it away. Next is the timing of eye contact in conversation. Women who are attracted will intentionally time their looks to moments of vulnerability, humor, or emotional openness. It's a signal saying, "I see you, I value this moment. I'm connecting with you. Most men mistake this for coincidence, but it's a strategic, instinctive alignment of attention. Then there's the attention during silence. If you ever notice her gaze staying on you while others talk, or while a pause hangs in the air, that's a massive signal. She's not just observing, she's emotionally checking in, staying present with you while the world moves around you. It creates a silent tension that pulls you forward, makes your heart race, and leaves you wondering if she feels the same thing you do. Another signal is the quick glance away followed by a return. This is a classic mix of interest and self-control. Her subconscious wants to look, but her conscious mind hesitates. That fraction of a second look away, immediately followed by return, screams attraction louder than words ever could. It's a pattern your body recognizes instantly, even if your mind is slow to catch on. The eyes also communicate comfort and safety. Someone who likes you will relax their gaze when near you, a sign that their nervous system trusts yours. Their pupils dilate slightly, micro-expressions appear, and there's an unspoken invitation to step closer emotionally. Pay attention to subtle repetitions. She will find ways to look at you repeatedly without drawing attention. It's instinctual, because the brain prioritizes things it desires, and every time her gaze returns, you feel it, even if you can't explain why. That pull is magnetic, and it's designed to create curiosity, attachment, and emotional tension. Understanding these patterns is more than just noticing glances. It's about decoding unspoken emotion. Once you start reading these cues correctly, you'll begin to see the difference between casual interest and true attraction, giving you an almost unfair advantage in connection and communication. If you felt that pull before and never understood why, now you're beginning to see the invisible thread that ties attraction, desire, and human connection together. Let's get even deeper, because this is where attraction gets dangerously precise, and most men completely misread what's happening. Eye contact isn't just noticing someone looking at you. It's about the emotional tension that builds invisibly every time your gazes meet. That tension is desire, curiosity, and sometimes even testing, all rolled into one. One of the most overlooked signs is the gaze that breaks and returns repeatedly. She looks away to control the moment, to protect herself, but her eyes inevitably return. That return isn't random, it's magnetic. It's her subconscious saying, I want to connect, but I need to test your reaction. You feel it instantly, even if you're not conscious of it. Finally, here's the truth that changes everything. Reading eye contact isn't just about noticing signals, it's about understanding the story behind them. Every glance, every flicker, every subtle linger is a message your subconscious already recognizes, even if your conscious mind hasn't caught up. When someone likes you, their eyes become a narrative of attraction, curiosity, and subtle testing. They communicate intent, desire, and emotional engagement without a single word. Most men miss it because they focus on surface-level gestures, ignoring the invisible dialogue happening in every interaction. But once you tune in, it's undeniable. One of the most powerful insights is the combination of multiple cues. Pupil dilation, gaze duration, micro-smiles, mirroring, and lingering, all layered together, form a signal impossible to ignore. It's like reading a secret map of her emotions, revealing who she's drawn to and how deeply before she ever speaks. This is where the psychology becomes almost magical, because it's instinctual, biological, and impossible to fake consistently. Another truth is the effect of your own awareness. The more you recognize these cues, the more they amplify. Awareness itself changes the dynamic. When you notice her subtle glances, her mirroring, or the sparkle in her eyes, you feed into the connection, often without even speaking. Eye contact becomes a silent conversation where tension, attraction, and curiosity escalate naturally. You also start noticing patterns you never saw before. Repeated glances across a room, subtle shifts in focus during conversation, that fraction of a second hesitation before she looks away, they all become data points. Each one tells a story of her interest, her emotional state, and her comfort level around you. When read correctly, this gives you an almost unfair advantage in understanding attraction. Finally, the most transformative part, understanding that attraction is rarely hidden. It's almost always in plain sight if you know where to look. The eyes are the truth-tellers, the subtle confessors, the mirrors of desire. Once you learn to read them, you'll begin seeing connection, interest, and intent that others completely miss. The world changes when you notice these signs. Suddenly, every interaction becomes richer, every glance becomes meaningful, and you gain a psychological edge in connection and attraction. This is the power of eye contact, the hidden language of desire that's been there all along, waiting for you to finally understand it. When you leave this video today, don't just look at people, see them. Their eyes are speaking, revealing, and inviting. And if you've paid attention, you'll never miss what's been in front of you your whole life. Another powerful cue is the subtle eyebrow flash. A tiny lift of her brow, often lasting less than a heartbeat, signals recognition, surprise, and interest all at once. It's almost imperceptible, but it sparks a ripple in your brain, triggering curiosity and emotional arousal without words. Men rarely catch this, but it's one of the clearest indicators someone is drawn to you. Micro-adjustments of posture while holding eye contact are equally telling. She may tilt her head, lean slightly forward, or angle her shoulders, small, subconscious movements that indicate engagement. The body is a translator for the brain's desire, and her eyes are the punctuation. Every subtle movement reinforces the pull she's feeling toward you. Then there's the brief, almost imperceptible blink patterns. When someone likes you, her blink rate changes, often slowing slightly as she maintains connection. It's a sign of focus and attention, a neurological response to something emotionally stimulating. Your subconscious picks it up instantly, which is why you feel that magnetic pull, even without consciously analyzing it. Eye-locking in conversation lulls is another signal most men miss. When the conversation pauses, she doesn't look away immediately. She holds your gaze a split second longer, creating silent tension. That tension is emotional. It draws you closer, sparks anticipation, and creates an unspoken dialogue of curiosity and attraction. Finally, the eye-body mirroring loop. When you shift subtly, her eyes follow, sometimes accompanied by slight facial micro-expressions. This is pure instinct. It's how humans signal interest and alignment without words. Every repeated glance, every flicker, every tiny return of the gaze is her mind signaling attention and attraction before she even speaks. Understanding these patterns gives you access to a hidden language. This is the level where desire, chemistry, and connection operate silently, behind the scenes, but with enormous impact. Once you recognize these cues, you can read people on a level almost nobody else can, and that insight alone transforms the way you interact with women forever. The eyes are no longer just windows, they're a roadmap, revealing truth, intention, and longing that words will never capture. Here's a secret most men never realize. The eyes don't just reveal attraction, they reveal intent. The way someone looks at you can tell you if they're curious, if they're intrigued, or if they want something deeper. Learning to read this changes everything about how you approach women and relationships. One of the most powerful indicators is gaze persistence. When a woman likes you, her eyes will keep finding yours, even when she thinks you're not looking. It's subtle, almost accidental, but it's her brain nudging her body to stay connected. You've probably felt that pull before, the small, unexplainable tension when someone's attention feels like it's magnetically drawn to you. That's exactly what's happening here. Then there's emotional synchrony. Watch how her eyes react to your emotions. Share something vulnerable, even a small frustration or joke, and notice her pupils, blink rate, and micro-expressions. If her gaze softens or brightens in response, it's not just empathy, it's attraction. Her mind is mirroring your internal state to create emotional alignment. This is instinctive, and it's impossible to fake consistently. Another crucial signal is the hidden flicker of surprise. When you say something unexpected or clever, her eyes widen for a microsecond, then settle back. That tiny, almost imperceptible flash is excitement. It's her brain reacting to novelty and interest simultaneously. You won't catch it unless you're trained to notice it, but it happens every single time she's intrigued. Directional glances are also key. Eyes that dart toward your lips or follow the movement of your hands subtly indicate attraction. Even when she's trying to appear casual, her body betrays her. The brain prioritizes desire subconsciously, and the eyes become the messenger of unspoken intent. Then there's emotional feedback loops. When you meet her gaze and hold it for a heartbeat longer than expected, notice if she mirrors you or maintains the connection. That micro-interaction is a silent negotiation. She's weighing safety, attraction, and emotional curiosity all in one glance. The longer she holds it, the stronger the pull. Finally, subtle micro-expressions like half smiles, raised brows, or soft eye twitches accompany attraction. They appear for less than a second, but carry massive psychological weight. These are impossible to fake convincingly because they're tied to the limbic system, the emotional center of the brain. Reading eye signals isn't just about noticing someone looking at you. It's about understanding what that attention means. The difference between missing it and recognizing it can be the difference between staying stuck in the friend zone or moving toward a meaningful, charged connection that feels magnetic and alive. Once you start noticing these patterns, you'll realize the world is full of signals you've been blind to, and the eyes are always telling the truth. Let's get even deeper, because this is where attraction gets dangerously precise, and most men completely misread what's happening. Eye contact isn't just noticing someone looking at you. It's about the emotional tension that builds invisibly every time your gazes meet. That tension is desire, curiosity, and sometimes even testing, all rolled into one. One of the most overlooked signs is the gaze that breaks and returns repeatedly. She looks away to control the moment, to protect herself, but her eyes inevitably return. That return isn't random, it's magnetic. It's her subconscious saying, "I want to connect, but I need to test your reaction." You feel it instantly, even if you're not conscious of it. Another powerful cue is the subtle eyebrow flash. A tiny lift of her brow, often lasting less than a heartbeat, signals recognition, surprise, and interest all at once. It's almost imperceptible, but it sparks a ripple in your brain, triggering curiosity and emotional arousal without words. Men rarely catch this, but it's one of the clearest indicators someone is drawn to you. Micro-adjustments of posture while holding eye contact are equally telling. She may tilt her head, lean slightly forward, or angle her shoulders, small, subconscious movements that indicate engagement. The body is a translator for the brain's desire, and her eyes are the punctuation. Every subtle movement reinforces the pull she's feeling toward you. Then there's the brief, almost imperceptible blink patterns. When someone likes you, her blink rate changes, often slowing slightly as she maintains connection. It's a sign of focus and attention, a neurological response to something emotionally stimulating. Your subconscious picks it up instantly, which is why you feel that magnetic pull, even without consciously analyzing it. Eye locking in conversation lulls is another signal most men miss. When the conversation pauses, she doesn't look away immediately. She holds your gaze a split second longer, creating silent tension. That tension is emotional. It draws you closer, sparks anticipation, and creates an unspoken dialogue of curiosity and attraction. Finally, the eye-body mirroring loop. When you shift subtly, her eyes follow, sometimes accompanied by slight facial micro-expressions. This is pure instinct. It's how humans signal interest and alignment without words. Every repeated glance, every flicker, every tiny return of the gaze is her mind signaling attention and attraction before she even speaks. Understanding these patterns gives you access to a hidden language. This is the level where desire, chemistry, and connection operate silently, behind the scenes, but with enormous impact. Once you recognize these cues, you can read people on a level almost nobody else can, and that insight alone transforms the way you interact with women forever. The eyes are no longer just windows, they're a roadmap, revealing truth, intention, and longing that words will never capture. Now, let's talk about the subtle power of reciprocal gaze. This is where attraction becomes almost tangible, the invisible pull you can feel in your chest. When someone likes you, their eyes don't just find yours, they seek permission to connect, even if unconsciously. They test your attention, and your response dictates the next move in this silent, emotional dance. One of the most potent signals is the gaze that lingers during humor or vulnerability. When you say something personal, clever, or even mildly self-deprecating, notice if her eyes stay on you just a fraction longer. That pause is her brain evaluating, is this someone I'm interested in? It's a subconscious assessment of compatibility and intrigue, and it creates a pulse you can feel without thinking. Another clue is the way her eyes scan and return to yours repeatedly. Even in a group, her gaze finds you. It's not random. The brain prioritizes what matters emotionally, and her eyes are drawn to the object of desire before she consciously acknowledges it. Men often dismiss this as coincidence, but it's biology doing what it does best, highlighting emotional significance. Micro-smiles combined with eye contact are perhaps the most emotionally gripping signals. They appear in a fraction of a second and vanish, but they carry warmth, curiosity, and subtle approval. Your mind registers it instantly, even if you can't consciously describe it. These are honest signals of emotional attraction, impossible to fake consistently. Then there's the flicker of insecurity mixed with boldness in her eyes. She wants to look, yet hesitates, almost as if testing boundaries. That internal push and pull creates tension, excitement, and anticipation. If you learn to recognize it, you'll start seeing the difference between casual interest and real emotional pull. The mirroring of emotional states through eye contact is another layer. If you show calm confidence, her eyes soften. If you express intrigue or amusement, her pupils and gaze adjust subtly in response. This isn't conscious, it's your nervous system syncing, a signal of interest and connection before words even exist. Finally, pay attention to the microseconds after eye contact breaks. Sometimes she looks away, but her eyes subtly track you or flick back. That's her mind lingering on you, her brain replaying the connection. This is a magnetic pull, a psychological signature of desire that you feel more than see. Recognizing these cues transforms your perception. Suddenly, you start noticing invisible threads in every interaction. You see who's emotionally invested, who's curious, and who's drawn to you without a single word spoken. The eyes are not just expressive, they are a silent roadmap of attraction, signaling truths that most men will never perceive unless they learn to truly observe.